Hello friends, this is Promi and welcome back to the Kerbal Commonwealth Space Agency. We are just rejoining Bill and Bob here on the surface of the Münar. You can see Kerbin and also Minmus in the background. We have our mysterious monolith here. Further observations have revealed that it is pretty much indistinguishable from the monoliths that we have discovered on Kerbin. So we are going to set up our instrument package right next to it here. So if we can just open Bill's inventory. Now, okay, we're going to need to get some things from Bob. Let's equip our screwdriver. Bill's moving a little oddly. Okay, let's get our central station, retroreflector, and maximum volume reached. Actually, we need to equip that one. I can give Bob the screwdriver and get... No, still can't fit that. Okay, Bob, how about you hold on to the heat probe for now while we set this stuff up. Okay. So, inventory, let's get our central station, put it here about, that's fine. Okay, get 3 plugs on. Okay, where's Kerbin? There's Kerbin. Get our retroreflector set it up properly this time. It's actually facing the planet. Put that in like that. Then over here, we can put our neutral ion, whatever it's called. Cold cathode neutral ion detector. Okay, put that there. Now let's grab the heat probe from Bob. We'll just plunk it right here between Bob and the monolith. Okay, now we need some plugs. And now we need to link everything up. So link and link. Come on. There we go. Second one. And last one. Okay, let's extend our antenna. Let's find where the sun is. Actually, I'll just put it on top of the solar panel like before. It's probably the best bet. Make it a little straighter. There we go. Okay. Now over to Bob to run some experiments. So interior heat flow, actually the first we should probably do the central station test. Okay, everything's working on the central station. Take that data. So only a very small amount of science, but everything is always welcome. So make interior heat flow readings. While this experiment runs, you begin to consider how the moon's interaction with Kerbin is driving it away at a tiny acceleration that varies with the 6th power of the distance. You wonder how long ago it was inside the Roche limit. Interesting question. The Münar was much closer millions of years ago. I'd imagine it formed outside of the Roche limit, or else it wouldn't have formed at all. So let's make laser range measurements to Kerbin up there. And I think... oh no, this is new. We haven't seen this one before. The reflector confirms that the Münar is slowly being accelerated by Kerbin's tidal bulge, raising its orbit. A billion years ago, it would have been uncomfortably close to Kerbin. You duck a bit before remembering that the Münar is a safe distance now. Okay, so that's actually related to our heat probe data. Seems to be a little bit of an issue with the science definitions for these experiments. The apostrophes are this weird symbol. Should go in and fix those. The config files. Let's see. We need to collect that data because we didn't get it before. Collect that data. So Midlands, I guess. I think I saw another biome back the way up we came. Might want to get some stuff from over there. So, okay, make exosphere readings. Center takes readings, da-da-da. Okay, that's all the same as before. So I'll take that. And what are we going to do now? I guess Bob should take a EVA and a surface sample here. Observe the landscape. And surface sample. Darker midland surface appears to be made up of basaltic rocks. Alright, we'll keep that. Just going to switch to Bill here, and we are going to plant a flag next to our base station. There we go. So we will just call this the monolith. Okay. Oh, and actually, look, we have something here. World first milestone. We've discovered a strange monolith on the Münar. I didn't know you got world first milestones for these Easter egg objects. It's interesting. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I want to leave this stuff next to the monolith. I think it makes sense to leave our equipment nearby, but I'm first going to take it back over to where there was another biome over here, because we're in Midlands and I think there was highland craters over there. So I'm going to pack everything up, go over there, take some readings, and then come back over here with our stuff and put it back. So I probably should have done first, but hindsight is 20/20. Okay, so let's just pack all this up. Okay, I found the other biome here. You can see up here, it's highland craters. We're actually not that far away. You can see the monolith and the flag back in the background there. So I'm just going to set up our equipment again. We can take some readings and we'll get Bob to gather a EVA and surface sample here. Or no, he did the ones before. Okay, we'll get Bill to do these ones. What's his sample from? Highlands? Yeah, we've got that already. So, yeah, take surface sample. The crater seems to contain materials from lower layers of the surface. Yeah, that seems obvious. Okay. EVA report. The dust covering the surface is very fine. Yes, we've encountered that before. Okay. I'm just going to set up our stuff now, and then we'll run those experiments too. Okay, Bill's got everything set up, so Bob's just going to take our readings now. We'll run the central station tests. Everything's fine once again. And cold cathode neutral ion thinger. And okay, it still had the data from the other site. Okay, same stuff. Collect that. Now we'll do our interior heat probe. And that looks like it's the same data as well, but we will collect it. And laser range finding. It's just to double check our data. Then we'll collect that. Okay. And we're just going to bring everything back over to the monolith, and then I think we're just about done here, and we can make our way back to the gray vector. Okay, we've got all our stuff set up again back here at the monolith. So I'm going to leave it here so that we don't have too much in our inventory. It'll be much easier to jetpack back this way. I guess Bill's tools really don't take very much mass at all, so I think we're fine just leaving them with Bill. Actually, we don't really need that screwdriver, since the only thing that it's for is the surface experiment package, which we're leaving here, so maybe I'll just leave it. And I'll just drop it there. Okay, so let's make our way back. We zoom out here. There we go. Or no, that's the gray vector. There's the rover, 7.7 kilometers away. So I think we are going to use our EVA packs. We'll have to do this one at a time since can't use the EVA followers when we're jetpacking. Or actually, can we? I'm not sure. Let's take a look here. Follow Bob. If I put my RCS pack on, take off. Yeah, no, Bob's not going to follow me. Okay. Let's get Bob to stay here. Stay put. Alright, we will be back for you, Bob. We'll just follow after Bill makes his way. I think we should have enough jetpack fuel, but let's keep our fuel open here so that we can keep an eye on it. We have the 5 units of EVA propellant. So, let's go. Bet Bill wishes that he could have done this on the way here instead of taking the 2-hour trek. Okay, we're almost there. Slow ourselves down now. Oh, too far. Slowing down, slowing. Oh, we're gonna overshoot. Ah, sunlight. Been in the shadow of this mountain. Okay, let's come to a gently landing. think we could have been a little more efficient with our fuel there. But I don't think Bob will have any troubles. And... oh, a little hard. Alright. Oop. Careful there, Bill. Somehow our rover ended up on its side. Let's just pick it up. See if we can get it oriented properly. Like this. Don't fall over. Okay, let's board it, and the brakes are on, so that's good. Okay, back to Bill, and he can venture over here. Or back to Bob, rather. Bill is right here. Alright, Bob's just taking one last look at our little science station and the enigmatic monolith. And now we're going to head back to the rover with him. See it off in the distance there, where Bill is now. So let's activate our RCS pack, and we can lift off. Okay, we're almost there. Just 500 meters more to go. So start slowing down. See, Bob's got it, or Bill has his helmet light on down there. Oh, Bob is running out of food and water. That's okay. We can do without until we get back to the ship. Hey, Bill. Looks like we're safe and sound back at the rover. And Bob did a lot better on EVA propellant than Bill did. Still has 2/5 of it left. Going to store Bob's experiments in here and board. See, I'm going to get Bill out of his seat. Getting lots of messages about food and water running out. But like I said, that's alright. And let's see. Did Bill already store his stuff in there? View sample. I still have... Why can't I store anything in the field scientist's equipment? I don't know. Well, that's alright. If we need to take more observations, Bob can do them. Let's get back on our rover. Turn these lights on. See, that looks a little weird with Bob with his Bill with his lights on. Let's turn those off. And get back on here. Okay. Now we are going to make the trek back up this hill, which hopefully won't cause us too much trouble. Let's check our supplies. Okay, so actually those, I think, those messages must come up when we're at 45 minutes of food and water. Still have 13 days of oxygen, so that's fine. Okay, looks like going up this slope is not proving to be much of a problem for our rover. So that's good news. Once we crest the hill here, I think we'll be pretty much home free. Just need to drive back to the lander. Guess I spoke too soon about the rover not having any problems. We did just manage to roll it again. Bill's still in his seat, but we should be able to write this without getting him out. Let's get everything pointed the right way. And looks good. Alright, we're almost at the crest of the hill. Okay, we're just approaching the edge of the crater here. Once we're over the edge, we should be home free as long as we do it carefully. Ooh. Let's mind the change in inclination there. Okay, we're over. Let's make sure our speed is not too high. Let's get down off this steep part. Gotta be careful when we're braking. If the back is in the air, then we're more likely to flip. Okay. I think it's going to be smooth sailing now. So we are going to drive the 13 kilometers back to the gray vector and meet back up with Halney. See what she's been up to. And we are home to the gray vector. Halney is sarcastically asking what's taken us so long. But she is getting the craft prepared for departing this world. Let's just power down our lights. We are going to leave the rover here. No sense in packing it up. Let's get Bob out of here. Yes, came back just in time. We just finished the last of our snacks. So Bob's gonna take all that juicy data from the scientist field equipment, and we're going to store it back into the capsule. She might as well just get Bob right back in. Is there anything we can get here? Space just above? Well, we can keep that. We probably already have that stored in the capsule. We will find out soon enough. And store experiments. Looks like we have 6 that could not be stored. Oh yeah, because we took all those readings. The duplicates at the Highlands just to make Science Alert be quiet. Alright, let's board and we can dump the ones that we had already. Bob's through the airlock, reuniting with Halney. Let's jump to Bill. Okay, leave his seat. Bill is probably sad to leave his trusty rover behind. Well, I suppose it was a little bit of a pain sometimes. and through the airlock to join up with the rest of our crew. Alright, all the crew is now reunited, and let's see our map here. I don't think there's any other biomes that we could easily reach. Be another 20-kilometer drive or so to this big crater over here. So I think we're going to call this the end of our first Münar mission. Before we leave, we do have one more thing to do. That is, we have a test of the Mark 1-2 capsule to perform on the surface of the Moon. Our clients have been waiting patiently for us to fulfill this contract. So let's run the test now. And it was successful. Test complete. 9 science, 200,000 funds. Pretty good rewards. Okay, I think all our fuel is in the correct place. And let's make sure our staging is right. Decoupler should be with this engine. And that's our previous engines being out of fuel. They're throttle up to 2/3. Don't want to go full throttle right away because I want to leave as much of this intact as possible, but we'll see what occurs. So we are going to say goodbye to the Moon and lift off in 3, 2, 1, and ignition. And ignition? Oh dear. Well, so much for it staying intact. No, oh, let's get stability assist on here. Okay. Oh dear. It's just a Rover flag and a big pile of debris now. Alright, so I'm going to push my apoapsis up to 10 to 15 kilometers, and we'll coast up to it and circularize. Okay, I think that's good enough. Just going to set up our circularization node now. A little bit too far. That should be fine. Okay, let's get ourselves lined up. We've got about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes before we have to burn. So let's just time warp forward a little bit. 2, 1. Okay, 50 seconds. And just about there. Okay, burn. Do we have something here? EVA report, but as we are currently burning, I do not think we can step out of the capsule. And there we go. Okay, is there anything we can get here? I think there might be. Let's just get Bob to step out of the capsule briefly. Through the airlock. Let's get EVA report from above Northern Basin. Okay, keep that and cycle back through. Okay, I guess that was a new data point. Okay, now we need to set up our node for leaving the Moon and returning to Kerbin. Let's add a maneuver here. And now let's see. So this is 4.2 million. Let's just tweak this a little bit. Okay, so that looks about as good as we're going to get there. And so I'm just going to leave the sphere of influence, and then we'll burn retrograde once we're back in orbit around Kerbin and lower our periapsis into the atmosphere around 30 or 40 kilometers. Alright, so we've got about half an hour until our burn comes up. Okay, back on the light side, just about ready to make our burn, and here we go. So long, Münar. It was nice to know you. Just about finished the burn. We can see Kerbin peeking over the horizon. And done. Okay. Alright, we're just going to make the 2-hour journey to escape the Münar sphere of influence. So I will speak to you again once we are back in orbit around Kerbin. And we've left the Münar sphere of influence and we're back orbiting Kerbin. I just sorted out our seating arrangement here because Halney and Bill were in the wrong seats. Now we're already pointed more or less retrograde. I'm gonna set our stability assist to hold retrograde. And we're just going to burn until our periapsis comes down to maybe 30 to 40 kilometers. So let's do that now. So let's just burn like so. Keep an eye on our fuel. We'll use the last bit of fuel to try to target our landing somewhat. Want to land close to KSC if possible, and in the water if possible. Be a little bit more careful now. 50, 40. Okay, that's probably good. Alright, now we are just going to coast back to Kerbin. How long is that going to be? Oh, about 4.5 hours. Our crew can review their gathered data, reflect on their Münar experiences. Alright, so I'll speak to you again once we are approaching Kerbin. We're about 650 kilometers above Kerbin now. I just got a message that our electric charge was running out. You can see here, it's pretty low. I was pointing towards our prograde vector, which was away from the sun, so all our solar panels were not getting any sunlight. So I've just rotated this spacecraft for now, and I'll remain like this until our electric charge is doing a little better. And then obviously we'll come around to retrograde. Once we get close enough, we'll burn the rest of our fuel and ditch our fuel tank. Actually, that reminds me, we still have some fuel in our little side tanks here. So I'm just going to grab all of those. transfer them into our large tank. So we have access to that fuel, and I think that's everything. Yep. I don't think I'm going to know exactly where I'm going to splash down or land. Really should look into that trajectories mod that lets you know how the atmosphere is going to slow you down. But I don't have it installed at the moment, so we'll just have to eyeball it. Okay, we're about to go around the dark side of Kerbin, and we're just about to hit atmosphere, so I'm going to hold retrograde, burn the rest of our fuel. Periapsis is coming down a little bit. I think we should land in the ocean here, or possibly here, and that'll put us reasonably close to KSC, planetarily speaking. Periapsis is actually getting pretty low here. I think I'm going to just ditch our stage now. So off it goes. So it will burn up in the atmosphere. Let's retract our antenna. It's probably a sensible thing to do. Okay, we've hit atmosphere now. Got a Mach number readout here. We're going at Mach 9.5. See, our heat shield's starting to heat up there. But it is pretty strong. Getting re-entry effects already. Oh, and you can hear our stage there exploding. Everything's looking pretty good for us so far. So far so good, we're at 30 kilometers now. Crew seems pretty chill about the situation. I'm actually surprised that Bill and Bob are not alarmed by this. But I guess they've both been through re-entry before. We're over the deserts currently. But I think we're going to be near over ocean soon. Let's check our map. Yeah, so it looks like we will land in this little sea here. So not quite as close to KSC as I would have liked, but it's a good landing site anyway. Sounds like the re-entry effects are letting up. Down at Mach 3.5. Okay, go away, electric charge. There we go. Ooh, we have a nice, pretty haze. Yeah, look at that. Nice. Still, not... Let's turn off our stability assist. Just let the capsule orient itself. Parachutes, okay, looks like our parachutes are good to deploy now. We're over the water. Mach number is coming down. So we're about 10,000 meters and maybe... Okay, now we're below Mach 1, so we are subsonic. Capsule is orienting itself. Okay, now Bill and Bob are freaking out a little bit. Okay, parachute away. parachutes are deploying. Everything looks good. See the surface of the water coming up to meet us. And we have landed in the ocean. Bob, Bill, and Halney look pretty happy. We have successfully and safely returned from the Münar. Just going to wait for recovery teams to come and get the capsule. And then we'll head back to the Space Center and see what juicy data we have. Wow, look at that. 597 science. That is a lot of science. We have learned much about the Münar and about keeping our crews safe on longer missions. Sure, Bill is going to head over to medical now. He's probably pretty bruised up from our Rover adventures. Let's see what else we got here. Got 72.9% of our value back. So we are about 500 kilometers from KSC. And 5 experience for everyone. Wow, 635 science. Werner and the folks in the lab will certainly be eager to analyze all this data, hopefully put it to some practical use. Let's check our messages here. We have a couple more stage destroyed message. World first milestones. We have returned home from the surface of the Münar. Nice. Okay, and we got little mystery goo contract completed and temperature scan contract completed. Okay, so we have 1.3 million funds. Probably want to update some of our facilities, but I will decide what to do in the next episode. Same with research. Give that some considerations. So I hope you have enjoyed this mission to the Münar. And until next time, this has been Promi. Thanks for watching.